Third category is function with argument and return value. Such functions receives values from the calling program through arguments and return results to the calling program. The last category is function with no arguments and return values. Such functions does not get any input from the calling program but still provide some output to it.
So now let me explain the next program on the categories of user defined function, that is program with return type and argument. So let me take the same example of program to find the square root of a given number. So let's start with the header files, that is hash include stdio.h, then include the header file, that is console input output.h. As usual, let us have a main function which is going to return a void, then the function prototype which says print the square with an argument here. So since it is going to be a function with a return type, let me return a value of type integer, and this program is going to have an integer, an argument of type int. Let's take it as k. Yes, this is the function prototype. So then let me declare the suitable variables required for my program here, int m. Then what can we take is clear the screen using clear screen function. Then the first printf statement that says enter a value. To input a value, I am going to use standard input function, that is scanf %d %m. So I have finished inputting a number. Next, let me call the function, that is print square, print underscore square, and I am going to have one argument. So I have to pass one argument here. That argument is the actual variable m. So this is a function call, and since this function is returning a value, so I have to assign this function call to a variable, say for example result. So let me declare result in the declaration section. Now let's look into the function definition part. So let me finish the function definition and then let me finish completing the main program. Okay, so I have the function definition which is going to return int print square is the name of my user defined function with one formal variable, that is int k. Open the plow bracket. Next, what I do here is I am going to declare another variable, say for example int square sqr. So I use the formula k into k is assigned to sqr. So I got the value computed and stored in sqr. Then I am going to return this value, that is the variable value square, back to the main program using return statement. I am going to end this program here. So let me come back and finish off with my main function here. The main function is, now I am supposed to print the actual result or the value that is stored in the result variable. The square of the given number is percentage D S, it's RES. So let me terminate the program as usual using get ch. So this is the end of the program. This program is going to find the square of any given integer number, but here the type of user defined function it is going to use is of type a function with return type and an argument. So let's execute this program. As usual, the program execution once again it always starts from main. So then I have the function prototype, then I have the variables declared, clearing the screen, printf function, enter a value. If I execute this program, so I am going to get the statement as enter a value. So if I enter a value, that value will be stored within the variable in the address of m in the RAM memory. So let me enter a value, say 4. Now the value stored in m is 4. Next line I have a function call. So very important, any function involving a user defined function must have this function call. So without a function call there is no meaning in using any functions. Square, print the square, I am calling this function by passing a variable that is m. So this is called as call by value, and as usual now the control jumps to the called program with the value of m. The value of m is now received by k. The value of m was 4. Now the value of m was 4. That 4 value is received by m. Now let's start executing this particular section. Int square k into k. The value of k is the value of m and its value is 4. 4 into 4 is 16. So at last I am returning the value 16 back to the main program. So what happens? The control again comes back to the same place where exactly it was called, and that value is assigned to the variable result. So now the value stored in the result is the value of square, that is 16. The next line I am going to execute, or I am going to print the final result by using a printf statement. The square of the given number is result. So it appears something like this. The square of the given number is 16. This is what the output we can expect after executing this particular program. So this ends the categories of user defined functions. ಎಷ್ಟು ನಿಮಿಷ ಸರ್ ಇದು? ನೋಡಿ approximate 8 ಆಯಿತು.
Now let me execute this program on functions with arguments and return values. The header files. Here is the function prototype in the name of print square. So next what we have is the main function, which is a mandatory function. As usual, we have declared three variables of type integer, I, number and results. So then we have the clear screen function. Then we have what is called as the first printf function with a message, give a number. So then what we have the scanf function to accept a number. Then we have what is called as the function call with argument. So then we have another printf function which says the square is so and so. So then let us terminate the main program here. Let us check the user defined function in the name of print square. So here is the user defined function in the name of print square, which accepts one argument and it is returning a value here. So here is the program which is going to have an argument and a return value. Now let's execute this program line by line and check out the results. Yes, the first line under execution is main. Give a number. This time let me give a number that is 4. Now this is the function call. The control jumps from the calling program to the called program. Yes, now the control happens within this called program, and the return now is returning back to the main program. Yes, program terminated. This is the result. The square of 4 is 16.
Now let's look at the second type of user defined function, that is program with return type and no argument. Here, let me explain you the same program, that is programmed to find the square of any given integer number, but the only change here is, now this program is going to have a return value, but it is not going to accept any arguments. Let me include the header files. Let me write the main function, very much important for any C program. Function prototype, it is print underscore square. And since this is a program which is going to have a return type and no argument, let me have the return type as int and no argument, so there is no parameters within this braces. This is a function prototype. And let me see whether if I need any variables or not of the further program. Let me decide later. Clear the screen. So now let me call the function print the square. So whenever there is a function call, the control goes to the function definition. Let me finish writing the function definition first, then let me come back to the main program. Program is incomplete as of now. It says int print square. This is the function definition. So here I need a variable that is int x. Let the value of x be same as usual, and another variable called sqr. SQR is equal to x into x, return SQR. This is the end of the function definition. Coming back to the main program, now this function is going to return the variable value square. I had to receive it here. So what I do is, I am going to assign this function call to another variable called as result. I am going to declare result here. Now this function call has been assigned to a variable called result. At last I am going to print it here, printf. The square of the given number is %d result. Get ch, end of the program. So this is the second program with a return type and no argument. So let us execute this program now. Program execution starts from main as usual. Then I have the function prototype. The name of this function is print square. I have declared one variable called result. Clearing the screen. Now this is a function call. Just observe this function call. I'm calling this function without passing any values. So the control from here, it goes to the called program, and then here the actual execution of the task takes place. So here I have declared a value of x is equal to 5, sqr square. X into x is 5 into 5, that is 25. Now the value 25 is stored in this variable sqr. At last, I have a return statement. So since I have a return statement, I am going to return the result that is obtained back to the calling program. So the control comes back to this function, and here the value that gets assigned within this variable, that is 25. At last, let me print the result, that is the square of the given number is %d result. Ultimately, I get a result something like this. The square of the given number is 25. So this is the end of the program. At last we have get, ch and exit. Any program you take, consider the execution starts in main, it goes to the function definition, do all the task, again come back and terminates in main.
Execute the program with no arguments and return values. We'll start with the header file as usual. Then we have the function prototype in the name of print square. So then we have the main function and declaring the variables, two variables, that is I and result, the clear screen function, the function call with no arguments, then the first printf statement saying the square is so and so. So let us terminate the main program here. Now next, let us look into the function definition. And what we have here is the function definition in the name of print square with no arguments. So in this program, we are inputting the input number in the function definition. Performing the operation and returning the result back to the main program with a return statement. This is the end of this program. Now let me execute this program. Program execution starts from main. Yes. Give a number. This time let me give a number 8. The square of 8 is 64.